talk you through two main messages that come through these 5 chapters. Number 1, stepping out of your comfort zone. Number 2, dealing with little to no improvement in your learning or training. I'll be also telling you how to face these situations when they happen. Hello everyone, welcome back. Little did Mark know that food intake plays such an important role in our overall health. I mean, without a healthy body, how can we do what we want? Plain and simple. Now let's take a few minutes and think about what you eat on a daily basis. Are you fueling your machine with proper nutrient? Or are you stuffing yourself with junk that only your mouth desires but not your body? Nutrition and healthful living is another big topic, which I'm not going to dive into here in this video. But just want you to be aware that food could also play a role in telling you why you were tired when you do homework, or why you didn't have energy to study, or why you couldn't focus or remember the things you learned in class. Give your body, your brain the fuel, the nutrients they need, and in return, they will work for you. In other words, your output depends very much on your input. So one way to harvest a good output, whatever you want to achieve, is to make sure your input is also of a high standard. Like you won't expect to get all fit and strong if you only eat fast food all the time, right? You don't, right? Tell me you don't. Okay, moving on. The first main message from chapter 17, stepping out of your comfort zone. Uncle Jake knows how important it is for Mark to experience this during his improvement journey. Same for all of us. Well, in theory, everybody knows stepping out of your comfort zone, challenging yourself, pushing yourself, yada, 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 it's all good for us. But the million-dollar question is, how? Here's what we could do. Number 1, know that fear is normal. Feeling scared, having anxiety attack, it's all normal. Nothing's wrong with that. It's not because you're weaker or less smart. It's part of our human experience. What you don't want is for your fear to manifest into phobias. The good news is that there are ways to learn how to control your fear. Some people even go out of their way to trigger fear, parachuting, bungee jumping, you name it. But there are many other subtle ways that we can do at home. Number 2, have confidence in yourself. Sometimes it really doesn't take much. When I was a student, if I needed to go and give a speech in front of my classmate, say in a hall assembly, what I did was I wrote the word brave on my palm and then I'll pretend to swallow it, telling myself that now I have bravery and courage before I stepped out. The trick is, the more you do it, the sooner you get used to it. Ask any of your friends who have public speaking experience. They'll tell you the first time is always the scariest. After that, piece of cake. Number 3, don't think too much. Just do it. Use the knowledge, including common sense, you already have, and just do it. The second main message, that's from chapter 18, it's how to deal with little to no improvement in your learning or training. A lot of my students have this feeling of getting stuck, especially when they learn English. They see little to no improvement in their English learning process. Besides the fact that language, annoyingly, does take longer than usual to improve compared to any other subjects, but hey, when life gives you lemon, you make lemonade. I know it's frustrating, but how do we deal with it? Number 1, acknowledge and share your frustration. A lot of times you're not the only one feeling stuck. Your classmates, your friends might have the same problem. Talk to them, share with them what you are going through. Form a community of support with those who share the same situation. After you talk it out, you feel 10 times better. Moving on. Number 2, recognize and accept that you're stuck. Don't go into denial, telling yourself that everything is fine. You're just wasting your time. The sooner you identify it, the sooner you can face it and deal with it. Uncle Jake knows to break away the plateau, one needs to up their game. For Mark, it means more stress for his body. But for you guys out there, again, take learning English as an example. Say instead of learning 5 vocabs a day, let's go for 10 vocabs. Instead of just looking at these five new vocabs, how about making 5 new sentences and using them in your communication? There are many ways to break through these plateaus. Number 3, expect that there will be discomfort. For Mark, more stress for his body means more pain he needs to endure. Same for you guys. There will be extra hassle when you raise your game. Making sentences and using it compared to just passively looking at the new vocabs? Of course, more hassle. But I can promise you, if you push it through with consistency, victory is on the other side. Now let's recap. Message number 1, how to step out of your comfort zone. 1, know that fear is normal. 2, have confidence in yourself. 3, just do it. Message 2, how to deal with little to no improvement. 1, share your frustration. Number 2, recognize when you're stuck. Number 3, expect discomfort moving forward. In chapter 20, we see how Mark consolidates his learning of the first message. He stepped out of his comfort zone when he followed Coach Adams' instruction to train with a new kid, a bigger kid. Mark was initially scared, not sure it's a good idea. That's normal, but he pushed it through. He gave himself the confidence, trusting that he already had the knowledge and the skills to fight. So he didn't think too much about it. Just do it. He tapped out a kid that is much bigger than him. Can you feel the happiness? The joy that you get when you achieve something which you thought you couldn't. Coming up next, remember the swimming goal Uncle Jake set for Mark? Very soon, he's going to get Mark to jump off the Burke Bridge. Do you think Mark can handle it? If not, do you think Uncle Jake is going to cut him some slack? Stay tuned.